My name is Nyasha Banhire. I'm a registered social worker by profession. I am also a director for 24/7 Support UK Limited. I am also responsible individual. I am also nominated individual for both our supported accommodation and also for our supported living, which is CQC registered. I am also director of Blue Marble Lodges. Me and my beautiful wife, we are directors of Blue Marble Lodges and Resorts in Masvingo and in Harare. It's an opportunity to stand here so that I can also advertise our business abroad. So for those who are going to be traveling to Zimbabwe, in Harare we'll take care of you. In Masvingo, where the Great Zimbabwe is, I know some have never been in Great Zimbabwe. I think Mr. Mwedzwandira is going to advertise something that is exciting, that is coming in August. And Blue Marble has offered anyone coming from the UK coming to that event a journey to Masvingo, all covered by Blue Marble, to see the Great Zimbabwe. And Blue Marble will take care of you, lunch, transport and everything. We are only 20 kilometers away from Great Zimbabwe, so we are not too far. Obviously, like I said, I'm going to only talk 10 minutes on the offset registration because Muchada has said most of it. I can't say more than what he has already said. But what I can say is, let's look at how to set up a residential children's home and stay compliant. Like what Muchada said, there are two main categories. There is the residential children's homes that are under 16, and there is supported accommodation that is 16 and above. So I will try and touch on both, but most of the things that Muchada has said, I can confirm that is the process. Just to add on his disclaimer, I think like just when they say as a protocol, this is not a business like any other business where you think you are going there to make money. If you go into this business thinking you are going to make money, you'll be disappointed. But making money is a bonus in any business, I know that. But with this one, specifically this one, because this is not a grocery shop, this is human beings. So the chairperson was here and she talked about compassion, kindness, all those things. If you don't have those things, please don't start this business, because you mess it up for everybody else. I went into this business out of passion, and I can tell you and I can confirm that I do have the passion of looking after children who are in care. This is why I've stayed within the same business since 2014 to date. So we do run residential children's homes. Some are EBD, some are learning disabilities, and also we do run supported accommodation across the country. Right, so when you are setting up your residential children's homes, this applies the same as well with supported accommodation. You have to first of all secure a suitable premise. When we say a suitable premise is what I have seen most landlords doing is just think, okay, now that my tenant is no longer occupying this house, I can just turn it into supported accommodation, or I can just turn it into a children's home. I've had quite a few people coming to my office or ringing me asking, that I want to turn my house into children's home or supported accommodation. Which supported accommodation is now the most popular at the moment. It's not as easy as that. The place has to be suitable, right? So you also Maybe to add on that, I was reading just a few days ago that Ofsted at the moment is about 1,600 applications for both children in supported accommodation, which they are still to process, and over 1,000 for supported accommodation alone, which they are still to process. So I'll go back again to what Muchada was saying, that yes, there is business, because if you look at those numbers, it's a clear indication that a lot of people are actually going into this business as a business. But I hope out of these 1,600, let's say half have got the passion and are kind, and they've got the patience as well. Well, it's very, very important, when you are going to run a business like this. Okay, so you have to you have to recruit a registered manager. That's for children residential homes. And also this is under the regulation 28. Like what Muchada was saying, that the manager should have worked within the last 5 years in a residential children's setting. I would normally say in a residential children's setting. I know that there are people who are coming from CQC, who are also coming into children as well. But try to do this when you've got that exposure within the children's setting itself. But obviously you have to start from somewhere. So what I've said to most people is, why don't you look for an agency job and go in as a support worker? Because you have to start from somewhere. We have all done it, where you go in as a support worker or as a residential worker in children's, or probably as part-time. I know you'll be having your CQC business, but go and apply somewhere else, as an agency staff, and learn from there. You learn a lot from being on the ground itself and do the job itself. Not everything you learn from paper. Also, the person should have at least 1 year, at least one year in a role that requires supervision in management of staff. So that can be probably a shift leader role, and goes into deputy manager, in a position that you are managing people and you are supervising people. That is your staff. And also should have at least a qualification of level 3 diploma in diploma in leadership and diploma in residential care, and also working towards a level 5 in diploma in leadership and management for residential children's care. It's very, very important that you must have these qualifications at the time when you apply. Either you might not have the level 5 diploma, but if you have a level 3 diploma, at least that, and working towards a level 5, that is something that the Ofsted will require. You will need also have to recruit a responsible individual. This could be a director in the company. Like myself, I'm the director, but also I am the responsible individual. A role that I've kept for a few years now within all our children's homes, and also nominated individual within all our supported accommodation. I have always said I've kept this role. I know I can employ someone to do the same job that I'm doing, but for consistent purposes, for consistency, I've kept this role in-house with me. Because what is happening at the moment is the market, I don't know what has happened for the past few years. Those who are in residential care will know this. It's people are moving. Just you can employ a person today, and next week the same agency that would have advertised that person will offer another opportunity that is probably much better, higher salary, and they'll just move on. Managers are moving on, responsible individuals are moving on. I'm not too sure what is happening. You know, maybe we'll help each other here to really understand what is happening in this line of work or business. So you can recruit, you should recruit, or you can recruit if you are not experienced, like what Chada was saying, that if you are not experienced, please don't do this, don't take these roles. Just recruit somebody who is experienced. And if you are experienced as a director, you can be a responsible individual, or you can be a nominated individual if it's supported accommodation, or you can be both in supported accommodation, a service manager, and a nominated individual, but only with experience. Recruit a staff team, which is Regulation 32, a staff team that have the appropriate skills, experience, and knowledge, and they should pass the safer recruitment checks. There is no shortcut. There is no shortcut, especially when you are recruiting your staff team. They have to pass the safer recruitment checks. It's very, very important. Also, after you've done all that, you will have to submit your application to the regulatory body, which is Ofsted. You have to create an account on the Ofsted online portal, complete the SC1 application form. This is the children's home provider, so this is what you as the provider will have to complete online, and complete the SC2 application form. Your registered manager will complete that one. Your responsible individual or any director who is part of the registration will have to complete that one. Few years back, they were not bothered much about the other directors, especially when you got a partnership with somebody else. But now things have changed. You have to have your other director as well, complete that SC2 form online. It does not, if the other director is not going to be involved with children on a day-to-day basis, managing the homes and all that, and even oversight of the homes, they will not require much. But they also want them to be DBS checked. So that's something that you should consider as well. Attach supporting documents. That includes the statement of purpose, a copy of certificate of insurance, which Dr. Udenge from Eaglemat is there for. Also, you should also provide your policies. I've just mentioned a few there, which normally on registration you need to provide. Missing child policy, that's missing from care policy, behavior management policy, safeguarding policy, prevention of bullying policy, complaints procedure, young person's guide, or some would call it the children's guide. Also locality risk assessment, your financial viability statement, proof of funding, that is for Blue Hector. So we've got everyone here represented today. So for those who want to open children's homes and supported accommodation, you can do it on the spot today. Everyone is here. Also, you need what is called a planning permission. Now, you cannot just rent a house from a landlord, for those who want to use their rented properties, and go and apply for planning permission without the landlord's agreement. So you need to speak to your landlord first, and also do your visibility study in the area. Also speak to your local authority so that at least they are aware that you want to apply for a planning permission, because you will require this. This is for residential children's homes. Supported accommodation, at the moment you don't require planning permission unless you are going to have more than, I think it's more than 3 or 4 children. Chada, if you could correct me there, where you require HMO registration, but you will not require a planning permission. So at the moment, I think we are still safe there, because planning permissions are not easy at all. Those who have gone through planning permissions, they are not easy at all. I've never heard of a planning permission of a children's home where neighbors and councillors have said yes there and there. There's no way.